Bobblehead on Saturday the 26th, presented by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank. Then it's time to battle back when the Crew takes on the Cubs for 3 games starting on July 28th. Get tickets for a week of Brewers action you don't want to miss at Brewers.com.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time for the best 60 minutes of your life. This is the Homer Hour, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Here's Emmy Award winner, Homer.
The busiest 60 minutes of your day, the Wednesday Homer Hour. Rainman is first, 1-800-990-3776. Caller number 5, you automatically, if you're number 5, 1-800-990-3776, win a $25 gift card from Cousin Subs. Used to be you had to do so well, but nope, now you can get an offer. You can go 0 for 15 and you still get the $25 gift card. That's how nice they are at Cousin Subs. If, on the other hand, you win the competition, which will be going until the end of the year, every Wednesday, most every Wednesday. If you're the champion, you win Cousin Subs for a year, which is worth about $300. So Cousin Subs, a great sponsor. 1-800-990-3776. Again, you need to be caller number 5. And Pebble will be taking those calls. 1-800-990-3776. Caller number 5. Jason Wilde will follow that. The Packers with training camp. And then Tim Van Vooren, who I suspect is probably also in Green Bay. And they are doing training camp of, I would say they're both at least 30 years of covering training camp. But we'll get the exact number. So, Rainman, brought to you by Cousin Subs. Again, the winner of the contest, Cousin Subs for a year, worth over $300. And our other great partner for Rainman is Saganiac Planning. Used to be a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service, but I was selling them short because it should be Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service, and doing it well for over 50 years. Even I haven't been doing this for 50 years. I started in 80, so that's 45. Saganiac Planning's been in it longer than I've been in radio. So, yes, Saganiac Planning, appropriately, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service because they've been doing it so long. They were good the first year. Imagine how good they are now after over 50 years. And Saganiac Planning, a phone number you can remember. All you got to remember is 783. Saganiac Planning, 262-783. Roger Maris, 6161.
That number again, 262-783-6161.
Greg in Franklin is our competitor. I don't really care anything about Greg other than his Rainman resume. Greg, good evening. What have you done in this competition to give everybody an idea of how well you might do tonight?
Really nothing. I just called in.
Have you ever done Rainman before?
I have not.
Have you listened to Rainman in the past?
Yes.
Okay, Pebble, say whatever you want to Greg, understanding that for both of us, whenever we tell people something, they almost never listen.
Well, you got 2 minutes, Greg, to get through all 15 questions that Homer's going to give to you. If you don't know the answer, say skip or pass. And they'll come back to the question for you. You don't want to run out of time. You want to get through all 15 questions within the 2-minute time frame.
And the first question, in honor of Saganiac Planning being such a great supporter of Marquette, it is always a Marquette question. Question 1, we call the Saganiac Planning Marquette question. So, only that question. Got to make sure here. All right, I got it. I had to make sure I had 15 questions. It'd be terrible if there were only 14. You ready to go?
Go.
The first question is the Saganiac Planning Marquette trivia question. 3, 2, 1, go. The only Marquette player to score 40 points and a half.
Marcus.
I think I'll give it credit. Only NBA player to score 100 points in a game.
Kareem.
Incorrect. Bill Russell with 11 NBA titles. How many years did he play?
16.
Incorrect. 1984-85. He averaged 32.9 points per game for the New York Knicks. 84-85.
Pass.
John Anderson's best high jump is
6'9".
incorrect. What Brewer player was a bigger college star at Cal than Aaron Rodgers?
Repeat.
What Brewers player was a bigger college star at Cal than Aaron Rodgers?
J.J. Hardy.
Incorrect. Where did Bucks Miles Turner play college basketball?
Louisville.
Incorrect. 1979-80. He averaged 33 points per game for the San Antonio Spurs. Yes.
The Admiral.
Incorrect. 2010, the year the Packers won their last Super Bowl, he led the Packers 703 yards rushing. Yes. Pass.
Sorry, I hit my tongue. Pass.
A record for the most goals scored by a player in an NHL game.
6.
Incorrect. How many times did Wayne Gretzky score 5 or more goals in an NHL game? 2, 4, or 7 times?
7.
Incorrect. 1970, he scored 69 points in an NCAA men's basketball game.
Pass.
High school girls basketball, 1982. She scored 105 points, 46 of 50 shooting.
Not a clue.
1932, this Yankee with 4 home runs in a game, not Babe Ruth.
Pass.
And how old am I?
61.
Incorrect. Pebble, I think we technically have 1, though I'm being nice.
Technically, it's a half.
It's a half because he only said Marcus. So now I will make you. Can you tell me his entire
Howard.
name? Excuse me?
Marcus Howard.
That is correct. We do not have our second offer. So, Greg, if you don't know, just pass. And they get to go through all of them. All right, let's see how many Pebble got. We got 1. Only NBA player to score 100 points in a game.
Will Chamberlain?
Correct. Bill Russell with 11 NBA titles. How many years did he play?
13.
13. 1984-85, he averaged 32.9 points per game for the New York Knicks.
Bernard King?
Correct. John, and this one really hurts because it means you just don't listen to the show enough, Greg. John Anderson's best high jump.
7'2.5".
How many times have I said that? Are we at
So
100?
many.
Yeah. What Brewer player was a bigger college star at Cal than Aaron Rodgers?
Andrew Vaughn?
Yes, he was college baseball player of the year at Cal, and Rodgers.
Number 3 overall pick.
Yep. Where did Bucks Miles Turner play college basketball?
Texas?
Correct. 79-80, 33 points per game for the San Antonio Spurs.
George Gervin?
Correct. This 2010. People forget the year the Packers won the Super Bowl. He led the Packers 703 yards rushing.
Brandon Jackson?
That is correct. Record for most goals scored by a player in an NHL game. How many?
7?
7 is correct. How many times did Wayne Gretzky score 5 or more goals in an NHL game? Twice, 4, or 7 times?
4?
4 is correct. 1970, he scored 69 points in an NCAA men's basketball game.
Pistol Pete?
Pistol Pete Maravich. Pebble hasn't missed one. Let's see if he gets this one. High school girls basketball, 1982. She scored 105 points in one game, 46 of 50 shooting. I can't believe there was another team on the field.
Reggie Miller's sister?
Yep. Cheryl Miller is
yeah.
correct. Yep. 1932, the Yankee with 4 home runs in a game, not Babe Ruth.
Yeah, I don't know, Gehrig, I don't know.
Lou Gehrig is correct.
Okay. All right.
Yes. And how old am I?
70.
I wish I was 61. Now, Greg, that was poor, not the worst. But you still win the $25 gift card from Cousin Subs. And you know why?
Why?
Because they didn't listen to me. I wanted to have, you got to get at least 3 right, or we'll give you, a package of Milk Duds or something. But not 20. And they go, nope. Anybody who gets in gets 25. So enjoy it. And I'm pretty comfortable with you doing better the next time, especially if you don't know and you just pass. Thanks, Greg. Pebble, I'll get to him in a second. Of all the ones that you need to remember,
7-2.5. You don't listen to the show.
I'm sure if somebody wants, I think I've said it 100 times.
You see it at least 100 times every time John Anderson's on the show.
That's true. But yes, high school girls basketball, 1982. She scored 105 points. 46 of 50 shooting.
It's the only person I could think of that was actually a very good girls player back then.
I don't know how somebody said it, but I'm still convinced she could still quite possibly be the greatest female basketball player ever. But I would have to defer to the Institute as to
Cheryl Swoops is in there, I think, too.
Yes. They're. I mean, it's easy. And the difference is back then there weren't as many good players, so. She was 46.
1 of 1, yeah.
46 of 50. 40. And I don't have the tape of the game, but I can't believe they were all layups. So other than that, the good one is Brandon Jackson, the player no one remembers from winning the Super Bowl, and Andrew Vaughn. And that's my biggest concern for the offense of the Brewers is can Vaughn continue to hit as he has with the Brewers, because for the White Sox, he was literally Tony Mandrich, arguably, as they would look at it, the worst number 3 draft choice in the history of the Chicago White Sox. Somebody else can do more work. I don't care enough about him to judge it with all the other 3rd overall pick. That might be the hardest trivia question ever. I'd have to check to see if the Brewers ever had another number 3 pick from Prince Fielder or Ryan Braun. I don't think anybody was 3 other than Paul Molitor, Robin Yount, and Andrew Vaughn. And if I ever see Robin Yount, my first question will be, so have you watched Vaughn play? Does he remind you? In what way does he remind you of your play?
Apparently, I just Googled a quick Google search. The worst number 3 overall pick in Major League Baseball draft history is widely considered to be Josh Vitters, who was drafted by the Cubs in 2007. 109 games for the Cubs, posted a career batting average of .208.
Wow. But he did get into 109 games.
Correct.
All right. So Andrew Vaughn, and yes, at Cal, the College Baseball Player of the Year, an award that Aaron Rodgers never won as the College Football Player of the Year. So in college, Andrew Vaughn was a more dominant player than Aaron Rodgers. Just a little tidbit to add. Jason Wilde, next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We've got a couple of accidents now to deal with. Eastbound 94 at 84th Street off on the left shoulder. And then we've got another one at about 68th Street off on the right shoulder. So a little bit of a gauntlet heading through from the Zoo interchange through the stadium. The westbound side's backing up from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. More delays crossing over the county line to about Sunny Slope Road, and a couple of other pockets past Moreland and across the Barker Road area. Southbound 41 is still a big backup from Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol, with the northbound side slowing down from just before Mayfair Road up to Hampton. Traffic is brought to you by German Fest. German Fest is here. Join for the carnival, live music, the Dachshund Derby, and more this weekend on Milwaukee's lakefront. Make it your tradition. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mainly clear and humid, a low of 77. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, hot, very humid, chance for showers and storms, a high of 92 with a heat index of 103. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Wilde and Tausch.
Unless he completely blanks the bed, he's going to be the guy.
Mr. Irrelevant.
This is a team who's ready to compete and take that next step in 2025.
Kyle Brust and Nordman.
Just winning one game in the wild card round, it's not good enough anymore.
All live from Packers training camp in Green Bay. Don't miss out on the start of the green and gold season. Tune in all day on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, or ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Get ready to say goodbye to those bland seltzers at the ballpark. Carbless is proudly Wisconsin-born, crafted by real people. A husband and wife team who wanted better cocktails in a can. They're locally made and blissfully better. Carbless offers a bold, true cocktail flavor that's made for baseball fans. Available in fan-favorite flavors like lemon lime, black raspberry, cranberry, and mango, bringing the craft cocktail bar to your seat. Refreshment that matches the energy of American Family Field is Carbless. Full of flavor, no sugar, and no carbs. Just game day bliss.
Discover Proof Pizza at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. In the heart of Milwaukee's Theater District, this modern pizzeria delivers Neapolitan-style pies, a bold grill menu, and old-school hospitality in a sleek, art-inspired setting. Whether you're craving a quick lunch or a relaxed evening bite, Proof Pizza is your go-to downtown destination. Dine in, unwind, and savor flavor that hits just right. And here's a tip. If you mention Jen Latta, you'll receive 10% off your order. Learn more at stkatearts.com.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Rainman is brought to you by Cousin Subs in their Pull Tab giveaway promo going on now. Purchase a sub or sub in a bowl and receive a pull tab. Cousin Subs, they believe in better. This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. It's time for Jason Wilde on the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
Training camp and Jason Wilde. Nice combo. Everybody should get information on the Packers every day of the year, especially when training camp starts. Good afternoon, Jason. What number of training camp is this? I said it's got to be around 30.
Yeah, so I started, it's my 30th season, but I started in October of 96. So it's my 29th training camp. And I'm a vet that, I did enough games in 1996 when they went to the Super Bowl and won it that I get credit for that season. So 30th season, 29th training camp.
How much different is training camp now?
Oh.
I believe the craziest training camps were Forrest Gregg, but I don't know if that was true.
Yeah, no, that predates me, but I can tell you this.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Forrest Gregg was before 96. Good point. You
so my first year was Holmgren's 1994, fifth year. So I had Holmgren for 3 years. I had Ray Rhodes for 1, I had Mike Sherman, then I had McCarthy for nearly 13 years, and now this is LaFleur's 7th year. So, when Tausch was a rookie in 2000, the Packers had, 'cause I looked it up a couple of years ago because I like to bring this up every year at the first day of practice. They had 51 practices. 51 open to fans. That's not even counting like jog-throughs before.
All of them were open.
All 51 of those. Yeah, there were special teams only practices. Now, in like 2000, I was a young single guy, didn't have kids, so I never missed a practice. Like I was there because I was always very paranoid that I was going to miss something, and so I was always there, and that was an incredible workload for those guys. Tausch was telling the story this morning, because the other part of that is they would start, and I don't mean to sound Old Testament-y because I'm starting to sound like you, and we can tell stories about what it was like to watch Don Hudson play. But I do think that it was stupid that they had guys doing 2-a-day, fully padded practices right out of the chute. I think that's just there's certainly a value in building up that callus and getting in shape and all the other stuff that was happening in those days. But that's like begging for injuries to happen. So what they do now is, I think, an overcorrection, in my opinion, where it's now 3 practices that are basically the same as the off-season practices, a little more higher tempo, a little closer to full speed today, I would say, compared to what I watched during the off-season. But then they get a day off, which was unheard of back then. And then it's the first padded practice on Sunday. So that's a lot different than, Holmgren in my first camp or Sherman. But again, I think you use whatever time is allotted to you. And somebody asked Matt LaFleur that if there were no rules, would he want more practice time? And I thought it was interesting that he said no. I would want more time with I know, right? I know.
That's crazy.
He said he's a new age coach, man. He basically said,
we know what he is. It's new age isn't the thought that comes to mind.
I think they play the clip on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy where I say Homer thinks that Matt LaFleur is soft. Compared to me, Matt LaFleur is Vince Lombardi.
I've changed that. I believe he thinks the importance is smarts.
Yeah, and I think I think it's true. I think he's right about that. I do think somewhere in between what they have now and what they had then would be optimal. But again, these are the rules. You have to abide by them. Today, we saw Matthew Golden with a great touchdown catch from Malik Willis. Saw McCole Hardman have a really nice touchdown catch. There are moments where, you kind of grab your attention, but you have to take those, not necessarily with a grain of salt, but certainly keep them in perspective of, hey, this ain't real football. And while when they put pads on in practice, that still ain't real football. They're not being tackled to the ground. If you throw a ball over the middle, you're not going to get decapitated or hit really hard to jar the ball loose. So, but it's closer. It's a closer approximation. So today, it's really just it's more than dipping your toe in the water. The way that Maddie and Sid would make fun of me for this, but whenever I get into a pool, I slowly get in, and you can hear me making wimpy noises about how cool, it's cold. So this is what they're doing. They're going in, and they're probably up to their thighs right now. Tomorrow, they'll go a little farther up to their chest. Friday, they'll be up to their neck, and then they'll get a day off because they'll have worked so hard, and then they'll cannonball into the pool on Sunday.
And this is all the result of the union agreement with teams, right?
It is, and it's the result of. Look, the NFLPA.
I want to make it clear that this exists not because of the teams, but other than LaFleur, I think they would love it. This is what they give the players as an alternative to more money. I guess I don't.
Correct. You laugh, but you're 1,000,000% right, Homer. And again, I have been critical of the NFLPA many times. I've been critical of the league. I've been critical of this organization from time to time as well. But I'll never understand the thought process of the NFLPA because, and I know better than to swear on the radio, but who gives a blank about less practice time in the off season?
Unless they have studies that say you players get hurt less. I don't. Anything that makes them and to extend their career longer, because that's
Right, but here's the flip side of that.
Yes.
In terms of extending your career longer, what are you doing to extend the careers of young players who need that development to become better players to stay employed?
Yeah.
Right? That's
Yes.
the flip side of it. So my issue is, and look, I understand the thought process behind it, but I would argue that the NFLPA's job, which they clearly forgot by choosing the guy they had running them for the last year and a half, but their job is to not only take care of their players while they're playing, but you remain an NFL. Tausch is still an NFLPA member. He's an alumni. And you have to take care of your players when they're not playing, too. And so instead of, I want more time off in the off season, because, look, what they do in the off season here, I don't think you're going to – yes, there's going to be the occasional, oh, my God, he tore his Achilles for no non-contact, just jogging or whatever. But what they do here is not taxing. It would not, I don't think, increase injuries. I'm sure, because these guys still have to work out on their own. So that they want time off, they want lighter practices, et cetera. What they should want is health care for a longer period of time. What they should want is better safety innovations to improve their chances of getting fewer concussions. Like they should want more of the pie of a third. I mean, we just saw this today because we went to the myself and several other beat writers and some of the TV folks went to the financial conversation with Mark Murphy, and
he did a great
Packers,
job. Made big time bucks, right?
He did, but the league, so their revenue from revenue sharing, so their 1/32 of the national revenue was $432 million, which means that the national revenue that is divided up among the 32 teams was $13.8 billion with a B dollars. If you're running the NFLPA and you got 31 billionaires and the Packers making that kind of money, do a better job of getting more financially for your members of the NFLPA. And look, they make all this money. They do have some concerns about, and I think they're valid, about the inclusion now of investment, private equity investment. Like if your valuation is $6.5 billion for your team, and you're allowed to sell up to 10% to private equity, that means you can raise $650 million like that. I think that concerns them. There's no doubt about it. But there's still safeguards in place, including the salary cap and the revenue sharing. To me, though, when I look at the big picture of the kind of money they're pulling in, it's hard for you to argue if you're a member of the NFLPA, we shouldn't get a bigger chunk of that, or we should, even if you don't revenue share, you should take a portion of your share that we're not getting and give longer-term health care and all the other retirement benefits that these guys should have. I'm not asking anybody who, like my grandma used to say, I'm not talking about guys that work at Alice Chalmers or Harnischwager back in the day. Like those guys worked their asses off, and they didn't make the kind of money NFL players are. But when you're talking about $13.8 billion, any union should want to do right by its members to make sure they're getting the biggest piece of that pie that they can on their behalf.
And everybody has said this for years. I don't know. Have you had discussions with members of the union in positions to make decisions? And I'm assuming the actions say they believe they're best serving their players by getting as much money as they can as quickly as they can.
Yeah, I have had those conversations with people that are
Treader ended up being a big shot.
Yeah, and quite frankly, it doesn't appear to be a very good one based on how things have played out. But look, I had this conversation with Rodgers.
Great one to ask. What did he say?
He's a really smart guy.
Yeah.
Now, again, he's in a different tax bracket than as Lee Rummel used to call them, the longtime PR director, ham and eggers, who are just trying to make it in the league. So
yeah, those guys are making so much money. It seems to me they would be more understanding of everybody.
Yeah.
Else.
So the minimum salary I believe now is $840,000 a year.
Okay.
But yeah, it's great. And but the average career is less than 3 years.
Right.
So take whatever for easy math, take half of that in taxes, multiply it by 3, and now that's it. That's all you get from your NFL career. And again, it's great money. Certainly more money than we make. At the same time, what would be smart, and this was Aaron's point, is that look, I know this is going to be hard, but the only way we're going to get them to give us what we want, and they're going to have another opportunity. I was talking about it with Murphy just 2 hours ago. They're going to go to 18-2. They're going to go to 18 regular season, 2 preseason. It's a question of when. And so, if I'm the NFLPA, that is a big carrot for the league. So I want better health care for my players after their careers are over. I want a bigger piece of the pie.
And I want 2 bye weeks.
Right. And the problem that Aaron talked about when we had this conversation years ago is that, guys aren't willing to plan ahead and say, all right, I'm not going to buy this car. I'm going to, do my own grocery shopping, whatever it is. And I'm going to put away money that if we do, in fact, strike, and I have to go a couple weeks without my NFL paycheck, that's the only way you're going to hit billionaires, because then there's not going to be games. And they are relying on the TV deals for that $13.8 billion we're talking about. So Aaron's point was always, look, I know this is hard, but save up your money so you can survive for a few weeks if we go on strike, so we can get what you really deserve and what you really need long term. Because ask Tausch, he's got a bunch of former teammates that could really use. I mean, talk to Don Makowski, who played in an even earlier era where they got even less. Physically, he is a mess. And what players don't grasp is that someday that's going to be them. And they don't think that way.
Yeah.
And that's their mistake.
I'm not a part of it, but I've always wondered why you couldn't work into where you could buy into more health insurance at a great rate.
Right,
So
that would even be better.
Yes, so
totally
that you
agree.
let people decide, but give them a price that's so great that most would take part of it. Because, it's just I shouldn't lie. It's just depressing to go to an NFL alumni golf outing when you look at this people and
again, I do think it. I don't want to sound tone deaf, because a lot of people that listen to our shows and work hard for their livings make a hell of a lot less than these guys. I'm not saying we need to have a telethon for NFL players, but at the same time, the people in that union who were so derelict in their duty to hire someone who had a conflict of interest and all the other issues. I mean, reading that story today, like he wanted to change his park. He wanted to have 2 parking spots so his Porsche wouldn't get dinged, and he wanted to change it to the parking spot to number 32 in honor of O.J. Simpson. Like, vet your candidates, man. But a group that was willing to live with all that tells you that they don't take that part of this seriously. And I know they've got a lot on their plates. They're trying to learn playbooks. They're trying to succeed in this league. They want to stay as long as they can. But you got to – I just wish I could grab some of those guys and say, look, man, this is going to be over before you know it. And then you're going to have to go out and get a real job and get real insurance. You're going to be like all the rest of us, except you're going to be able to tell really cool stories about the 3 years you spent in the league.
Lastly, as Brian Bulaga has stated, what are the dates and the teams when they have the 2-team workouts? And he said that's pretty much the entire training camp that everybody should be focusing best on.
Yeah, the doc is a smart guy. There's no 2 ways about that. So I would never go against him. I would argue slightly against him and just say that I do think the padded practices matter.
Okay.
What we saw today doesn't matter. Again.
Right, who's coming in or where are they going?
So they play at Indianapolis on Saturday, August 16th. They're going to have a joint practice in Indianapolis on August 14th with the Colts, and then they play at home on Saturday, August 23rd against the Seahawks. They will have a joint practice with the Seahawks on August 21st, that Thursday.
So those are the only 2 ones.
Joint practices. Yeah, and then they've got family night on August 2nd.
Yeah,
but those are kind of the mileposts.
Okay. And it's too early to say anything, but do you say, all right, I got to watch this? Or, I mean, I didn't even bring up the Jenkins in the back. He's going to be in the starting lineup.
But I'll say this, Goody did not sound like he was inclined to improve his contract.
That would be consistent, and I agree with you. I understand their approach. This is different. You have an out because you're asking him to change position where you can do something a little bit different, and none of the other players can say, hey, why'd you do it this time? Well, hey, we asked him to change positions. You just don't do that very often, so it's not like it's going to keep coming up.
Yeah. Again, I converted you several weeks ago. It's great to have you still arguing on my behalf, Homer.
Yeah, on principle, I don't agree. I mean, I get it, but I just think it. Whatever. We've discussed it, and I want to emphasize he's going to be in the starting lineup, and
sooner or later,
I expect him to be the center. But if not, he will be one of the 5 starters for the Green Bay Packers. You want to join that club?
Yeah, he just won't be as happy as he could be if they just took care of him.
Yep. Thanks, Jason.
All right, Homer, take care. Be good.
Tim Van Vooren, not next, but soon. The next.
Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Eastbound 94, we're still dealing with an accident. It is at about 68th Street, off on the right shoulder, so heads up with that. We're seeing delays coming out of the Zoo interchange all the way past that point. Back that up a bit, we do have delays from 164 all the way past Barker Road. Westbound side's going to be backed up as well from 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, then west of Highway 100 into Waukesha County. Southbound 43 is backing up from Locust all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River. Northbound's backed up from Kilbourne up past North Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash. Drive a clean car every day. Tsunami Express Car Wash makes driving in style simple with unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Get your first car wash free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mainly clear and humid, a low of 77. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, hot, very humid, a chance for showers and storms, a high of 92 with a heat index of up to 103. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's always a beautiful experience coming out to the ballpark. Many fans prep in the parking lot amongst our legendary tailgaters. When you're ready for new windows and doors, prep for those at the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. See, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of window and door options from different Pella lines side by side. And if you order by July 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years on Blue Mountain Road, or visit PellaWI.com today.
2 Wisconsin icons are teaming up on a reworked classic. Cousin Subs and U-Zingers are proud to introduce the all-new fried bologna sub, featuring U-Zingers fried bologna, bacon, American cheese, onions, pickles, mayo, and mustard on fresh-baked Italian bread. And that's not all. Pair your fried bologna with a creamy cupcake shake topped with whipped cream and rainbow sprinkles. Now that's a better combination. Order both in-store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
The
open road is calling, and the ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This July, you could burn rubber on a custom Harley-Davidson in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. Play with your rewards card all July for entries. Thursday drawings for extra cash and reward play. Fire up your fantasy. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
When I made my little chat on KBN and talked about Tom Hamilton, who I followed at WHBY in Appleton back in 1983, I think it was. I didn't know. I knew he's from Wisconsin, but like Mark Tauscher, Tom Hamilton grew up on a dairy farm. I think it's Waterloo, Wisconsin. I'm not sure. We'll have to find out which dairy farm was bigger. But he will be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame this weekend. He's been the voice of the Indians since 1990. And it's hard to believe there's ever been anybody from the radio side in which everybody likes him and all the great things they say about him. I met him a few times, and my short interaction with him was, that would fit exactly how he was. Nice to everybody. Tim Van Vooren with his thoughts on training camp coming up, but I want to mention Fisco Auto Body, so you'll take advantage of how great they are, and then you'll thank me, and then you'll like me a little bit more, maybe. But the part about being good is just so easy because Fisco Auto Body is a family business owned since 1931. It's not what they do, it's who they are. Yes, it's in the family, and the family's still doing all the stuff. So imagine in a family business, auto body, how early you start doing the stuff and how good you are by the time you've been doing it to where people come in and you do their stuff. That's how they're so good. Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin. Don't give the address often enough. Wherever you are, it's worth the time. Expert workmanship guaranteed for the life of your vehicle because they're so good at fixing it. On Forest Home in Franklin, Fisco, so you remember the name. Tim Van Vooren next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on July 29th.
Turio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Chicago Cubs.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in July 29th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check out your local listings to watch the game.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
The Big Slide, barns and barns of animals, and all that food on a stick. State Fair is one of the biggest events of the summer, and we'd like to send you there. Compliments of Discount Liquor. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Purchase any one case 30-pack cans of Miller High Life or any one 12-pack Leinenkugel craft beer and receive one free State Fair ticket, all while supplies last. But don't delay. Tickets go quickly. And I know you don't want to miss the bacon-wrapped bacon. Visit us today at 51st and Oklahoma in Milwaukee and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Discount Liquor, voted best liquor store in Milwaukee again. See us this week for your free Wisconsin State Fair ticket.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
And visit us online at discountliquorinc.com.
The deals are heating up at the Summer Savings Event all summer long at Cunis. Get the hottest savings of the year at nearby Milwaukee Metro Cunis locations in Oak Creek, Greenfield, and the new Cunis Hope Chevrolet on West Metro Auto Mall. We have sizzling new vehicle specials on the most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Or with one of our 10 pre-owned super specials, you'll be swimming in a pool of savings. Plus, keep your vehicle refreshed with our service specials on brakes, tires, and oil changes.
I'm Brian Bohm, General Manager of Cunis of Oak Creek.
And I'm Bill Eater, General Manager of Cunis of Greenfield.
We would like to invite you to take advantage of these great monthly specials.
And remember that your vehicle will be covered by our exclusive No Fear Lifetime Powertrain Warranty included with new and qualified pre-owned purchases.
Call or stop in today for your VIP appointment.
Get outside and enjoy the Summer Savings Event at Cunis. Start your search online at CunisMilwaukee.com.
The Brewers return from the break with a jam-packed week of action. First up, a summer battle with the Marlins, July 25th through the 27th. Come for the action, stay for Pokemon Go Day on Friday the 25th, and a Bryce Terang bobblehead on Saturday the 26th, presented by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank. Then, it's time to battle back when the Crew takes on the Cubs for 3 games starting on July 28th. Get tickets for a week of Brewers action you don't want to miss at Brewers.com.
Hey Milwaukee baseball fans, it's Saz. Hoping you'll make Saz's State House your MVP pregame spot. Skip the parking hassle, grab a rack of award-winning ribs, one of our festival-famous apps, or a sizzling smash burger. Then hop on our free shuttle to the ballpark. It's the ultimate game day upgrade. Rally with your crew and ride with us. It's Milwaukee's favorite way to play ball. Saz's State House on 55th and State, a Milwaukee tradition since 1976. Free shuttle service for all home games. The finest.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. American Family Insurance can help protect your dream home for whatever comes next. You can live in your own oasis or your own clubhouse. Whatever you choose, get the right coverage. Save up to 23% by bundling home and auto. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The 3 most important letters in sports. Even better than those.
TVV.
It's Fox 6 Sports Director Tim Van Vooren on the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
3-time Wisconsin Sportscaster of the Year, Hall of Fame wingman, and he's won other awards. He just won't tell us what they are, and so I've got to keep searching. Tim Van Vooren, Fox 6 Sports, TVV, good afternoon.
Homer, good afternoon. Before we get into anything, it's a big day, as you know, here in Green Bay. But personally, I'd just like to mention an aside that as I was walking from the practice field back up to the stadium, I saw Alex Strofe hanging out at one of the houses there. So there you go, Alex Strofe sighting, Green Bay, training camp day 1.
Nicely done. What training camp is this for you? 30 whatever? How many have you done?
Yeah, 30 plus. 1991 would have been my first. I wasn't here for training camp in 1990, so
1991. Wow.
Yeah.
So did you get Forrest Gregg at all? Was he in there or not?
I had Forrest Gregg previous to that with some radio opportunities to talk to him on Monday mornings after a loss.
Yeah, I just asked because I think his training camps were the hardest ever.
It was Lindy Infante when I first arrived.
Oh, yes. The greatest coach ever in Packer history, according to a poll in Green Bay. Did you ever check the accuracy of that? Do you think that actually...
it's skewed. There's a little recency bias for that poll.
Okay. He did have one good year. They went 10-6. All right, let's get to this season. I could talk about the Brewers, but I thought the manager said it best about anything. It's July 23rd. Perfectly stated.
Part of the reason they're so good is because that is the manager's attitude. He reminds those guys of that sort of thing. That's his perspective every day. I think Pat Murphy has proven to be just the right tonic for this ball club.
Am I accurate? Tony Smith says I make stuff up. I believe that it wasn't necessarily going to be Murphy as the manager of the Brewers, but when Attanasio heard that Craig Counsell was going to hire him again as assistant with Chicago, Attanasio said, "You hire Murphy as our manager today."
I could see that scenario. I mean, I think, I would also say whether this is a corollary or who knows what exactly transpired. Murphy in his mid-60s is going to get the job until Ricky Weeks is ready.
Correct.
By now Murphy doesn't show any signs of not being on that job for as long as he wants to be right now.
So do your research, because every time I say that, you don't know if that's true. You just made that up, and I go, I don't know. The premise is that Murphy was not the candidate until Antanasio or someone heard that he was going to go work with counsel with the Cubs. Because I always tell everybody, the weird part with the Brewers, the guy who's the manager was brought in by the manager who left. The guy who's the GM was brought in by the GM who left. And the greatness of the team is the result of not only the two here, but the two that left and who they brought in.
You script a good story. You're AI before AI, Homer.
Well, okay, if you say so. All right, now to the Packers. Take it away. Say whatever you want. Talk about whatever you want. This is the first day of the Tim Van Vooren Scouting Bureau, which I love to promote. Your ability, and a very good one, at noticing players. You never pick the most obvious, which makes it even better. Mine is only that if Cooper is not Pro Bowl and or second team All-Pro, I will be disappointed. That's the level where I have placed him.
I know you're a major backer, and obviously the Packers defensively are counting on him to be a major linebacker and an impact player at that position. I would agree with you that he should project in that range, and if he plays to that range, their defense should be very good along with it. I'll give you a name that I don't think has gotten much run at all. I mean, I'm not saying from today. I'm just saying in general, and that's Kingsley Enagbare. There's all this talk, is Rashawn Gary going to pop up the sack numbers this year? Is Lucas Van Ness going to do more? I'll give you Kingsley Enagbare, who I think is a pretty productive edge rusher, and I'm going to guess he's a bigger player and a guy who's getting more discussion as the season goes along.
Well, I want to ask you as a follow-up, I've always wondered why he didn't play more, because he's always looked pretty good and put up numbers. Mm-hmm. So address that. What are his weaknesses that have prevented him from getting more playing time, given the numbers that show up?
I don't know that I'd say weaknesses, but I think he's had some conditioning concerns, and he's had some health concerns. And they remember when Aaron Jones used to be on kind of a snap count, a usage count when he was a running back here early in his career. I think it was a little bit of that with Enagbare, to be honest with you. And maybe that'll continue to be true. I'm looking for him to push for more playing. Preston Smith is out of that mix this year. Maybe one of these young guys, Barron Sorrell or Colin Oliver, comes on, but I don't know. Maybe Brenton Cox or Aaron Mosby, steps it up from last year. But I'm saying the sleeper in that group is Enagbare.
What about your guy, Hopper? Isn't that the guy?
Hopper? Yep.
Yeah, Tyron.
I remain interested in Tyron Hopper. Absolutely. I know I talked him up last year. He barely played, certainly from scrimmage. I'm going to guess you hear his name certainly throughout the preseason.
What are
He's
his
the kind
skills?
Of guy, run defense. He's a plugger. He's, I don't know where he is on pass, defense. I don't know if he can be exploited. Maybe that's why he doesn't play as much from scrimmage. I don't have any idea on that. And I'm assuming that was part of it last year. We'll have to see this year. But you want a guy who plays forward. He's coming forward. That's Tyron Hopper.
All right, Marshawn Lloyd. The name has been brought up. The running back. I guess I just worry that he's always hurt. I don't even know if I'm accurate that he's always been hurt in the past, but he has a wow factor in terms of those who talk about him.
Well, he has a wow factor if he's healthy. Brian Gutekunst was asked specifically today about him. He said you can't get better in the NFL unless you're out there on the practice field. And Gutekunst made a point of saying that Lloyd has done everything possible to get himself healthy, to keep himself on the field, and it's great to hear that stuff. This isn't some malingerer. This isn't some guy who's trying to, shirk away from practice during the week and show up and play the games on Sunday. However, his availability has been severely in question, and for me, I'm not committing to Marshawn Lloyd over Emmanuel Wilson, for instance, and running Emmanuel Wilson out of there until or unless Lloyd proves that he's going to be a durable, reliable option. Even if he is a wow factor guy, I don't think Josh Jacobs should carry the same load that he did last year. Maybe he's capable of it, but I would like to see more diversification there. I thought Wilson was just fine as the number 2 running back last year. So to me, Lloyd has nothing handed to him. He has to prove that he's healthy and then show what he can offer.
And he hasn't proven to you yet that he can stay healthy. And until he does, you'll say exactly what you're saying today.
That's where I would be on it. You know, again, we've talked about this before, Homer. A first-round draft choice from last year who barely played, and 2 third-round draft choices, Lloyd and Hopper. Yeah. If these 3 guys played to their billing, what kind of an advantage or an addition would that be to a football team? You're talking about 3 top 100 players who've not barely scratched the surface with so far. But I'm not sure they have roles this year. And I'm not sure Anthony Belton has a role this year. Then you'd have a first-round pick and a second-round pick offensive lineman who aren't even in your front-line rotation. Maybe I'll be proven wrong on that, but that's wild to me.
But I would say to you, you follow this, it's almost inevitable that everybody isn't good. You got Edrin Cooper, who's part of that group at 45, Evan Williams at 111. When you have some people that stand out, I just assume some of the others won't. Find me a draft where, like, the top 5 guys kicked butt, all of them. But
I agree.
Maybe there is one. But go ahead.
And throw in Bullard. I mean, Bullard played a lot last year.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So he's in that group too. Yeah. So I'm just saying on paper, somebody liked these 3 guys enough to pick them where they did. If whether it's injury or whatever, if they can give you more than you're anticipating, or the average fan is anticipating this year, that would be an enormous shot in the arm.
And would help the Packers be as good as they need to be, I think, to win the division. Everybody used to talk about it, but you see what problems you create by not being the best in the division, which the Packers were for so many years. Maybe we took for granted. All right, whatever you want to say.
On that note, I legitimately think any of the 4 teams in this division could finish in any of the 4 places.
No, the Bears can't be first. Come on.
I don't believe that. They have the 4th place schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't pick the Bears. I would pick the Bears below the other teams. But I do not think it's inconceivable that they could find themselves with this winning record. You just don't know. To me, it's never been that way. The Packers used to get 5 wins in the division every year. Boom. Yeah. You're right. Home field advantage. Overall, you're playing for the top seed right away because you had such a boost. That's how the Patriots won all those games. They dominated their division. Then you're always playing for home field.
Yep.
That's the challenge this year in the NFC North.
Yeah, and I think that, to me, it's 90% is dealing with Detroit. I didn't ask you about Elton Jenkins. Tell me what you want to say. He's going to be in the starting lineup. He's going to be one of the 5 offensive linemen. And take it from there, TVB. What? He's got a back?
As often, Homer, I think you're right. I just think the question is, how happy will he be?
I don't know. You answer that. So you think he will end up at center?
I do. I don't think it matters necessarily. I think he'll play, but will he be playing because he's been rewarded and feels secure, or will he be playing with a chip on his shoulder? Either way, I think he's the starting center on this offensive line. He's playing a little game. There's a little game of chicken here. If Sean Ryan or somebody else, or Jacob Monk is awesome in camp, that raises an eyebrow or two.
Well, if I'm Elton Jenkins, then fine. I go back to guard. Ain't no way I'm not one of the best 5, right?
Well, you're not going back to left guard because they signed Banks.
Right, so you go to right guard. He's better than anybody they got at right guard, according to
flopping Ryan at center? What are you doing there?
I don't know, but I know this. Jenkins is in the starting lineup. You want to join that club?
I'm with you.